During one of my recent conversations with Paul Gelder, the host of Shark Week as well as a shark attack survivor, we talked about why he ditched all animal products and adopted a plant-based diet, as well as what his fitness routine looks like. I'm kind of curious, I'm a nutritionist. What were the nutrition recommendations for you after surgery? Like, did they recommend like eating more protein or anything special like that?
No, I didn't get any direction whatsoever. Fortunately, I had one of my best friends that I grew up with. He moved in with me to look after me when some days I couldn't even get out of bed. So he moved in with me to look after the cleaning, and he was a chef. So he looked after all the cooking as well. So he knew the nutritional requirements. And at that point, I still really didn't know that much about nutrition. Being in the military, a lot of the times you just eat what is ever at work. It wasn't until the last couple of years that I've really delved into nutrition and health. In the Australian military, we didn't have a lot of people coming home from war missing limbs at that point. So I was kind of one of the first ones who was operating at such a high physical level that I might potentially be able to go back to work. In my mind, no one in the military thought that I would excel as much as I did. I knew how to push my body and push my mind more than anyone else. So I took control of basically every aspect of my retraining. Didn't need to talk to a counselor because I already had that sense of value and purpose, and that's what I needed to be positive. I didn't have a training coach. They didn't supply me with anything like that. I just got into the gym as soon as I could and started learning about training and started improvising training techniques and training devices that I could use without a hand and a leg. So sometimes you just got to get in there and you got to find out what works for you.
And you're vegan, correct?
Yeah. Plant-based.
That's awesome.
This is my after-training breakfast that I have pretty much every day. It is amazing. 3 scoops of oats. It's a scoop of this protein powder that I discovered from a company called High Performance Nutrition. Banana maple French toast flavor.
Oh, sounds good.
So good. So I mix that in. It's a scoop of chia seeds, a scoop of buckwheat, a scoop of cacao powder, hemp seed hearts, and some mixed nuts and some blueberries.
Nice, man.
It's so much. People ask me where I get my protein from, obviously, as I'm sure you do. It's the dumbest question ever.
Totally.
It's 55 grams of protein.
Yeah, sounds like a good bit. You said hemp seeds, it has nuts, even oats. That's great. How long have you been vegan?
I think it's coming up on 3 years now.
That's awesome.
I would never go back.
What made you decide to start eating more plant-based?
I felt like a hypocrite. I went to Africa and I was shooting this documentary. It was supposed to be for Xbox, but then Nat Geo played it. And I was embedding with an anti-poaching unit in Africa, in Zimbabwe. And I was going through all of their ranger training and unarmed combat, deadly snakes training, all the shooting and stuff. And the guy that had founded and was running the International Anti-Poaching Foundation there, a guy called Damien Mander, he was a Navy clearance diver in Australia as well. And I'd met him once before, but we never really knew each other. And we talked backwards and forwards, and I went to Africa and we filmed this show, and it was really awesome. But he had a cook, his chef, creating a separate meal for him and his wife. And I was asking him about that, and he said, "Oh yeah, I don't eat animals. This is all vegan." And I said, "Why would you do that? Like you asked me." And he said the exact same thing that I said to you. He goes, "I was protecting the animals and I was eating the animals, and I felt like a hypocrite." And he's a huge man. He's so big. And I just figured, it planted the seed. It kept coming up, this plant-based lifestyle, this vegan lifestyle. It kept popping up in my life. And I feel like when that happens, you need to start listening to the universe. I started thinking about it and I thought, well, geez, I work in conservation. I work trying to save the oceans. I'm eating all the fish and I'm eating all the chickens. I'm eating kangaroos and all that stuff. And I felt like a hypocrite. So it started there and it took a little while. I gave it a go once and I failed miserably because I just went, I'm just going to stop eating everything all at once, and it lasted not even a week. But then some other people that I respected came to me with the idea as well. And I started listening and I did it incrementally, just like the goals and challenges we were talking about earlier. I cut out red meat, white meat, fish, and the last one was eggs, which was quite hard because it was like my last vestige. Come home after training, got to get that lean protein in, got to eat those eggs. Now, honestly, eggs gross me out. It's funny how, people talk about it with sugar. Once you stop consuming sugar, you lose that craving for it and you actually don't want it, and the sweetness is too much for you. Now, it's the same with animal products. Physically don't want them. They don't interest me. I don't want to be some asshole that knows full well what's happening out there in the factory farms and what the animal agriculture industry is doing to our planet and the commercial fishing is doing into our oceans, and just turn a blind eye and just go, it'll be all right. Someone else is looking after it. No, it's these little things that we can all do. You want to save the oceans? I get a lot of people ask me, what can I do? What conservation group can I join? I'm like, stop eating fish.
Starts with your diet. And that's so awesome to see someone in your position like make that connection. I mean, like you said, there's people working in preservations, doing all these awesome things for animals, but just not making the connection.
Ideals and their actions just aren't meeting.
Right.
And it's a win-win because, I thought I was going to lose muscle and I was going to become skinny and unhealthy, like the stereotypical idea of a plant-based or vegan person, and that did not happen. I had to learn about nutrition.
And you're huge. Like, you're in great shape, man. Like, I've seen videos of you benching. You bench more than me, man, with like these two hands. Like, that's awesome.
Dude, I haven't had a serious injury since I started, and I used to get injured all of the time. I'd have my elbows would blow out, my shoulder would blow out, my knee would blow out. I haven't had a single serious injury like that in over 2.5 years. So I'm not going back, man. Life is too good. I feel good in my soul. My body feels good. And people talk about having all this endless energy and stuff. I haven't really noticed that. I'm not going to bullshit anyone. I'm not going to say, I just feel like I've got all this energy. I don't feel that different physically every day, but I don't have the injuries and I feel good in my soul. Nothing is dying needlessly for me to live. So that's enough for me.
You go to bed at night and you don't have to worry about the harm that you would be doing.
And mostly people don't anyway, because it's either ignorance or they don't care. Once you've watched Cowspiracy, once you've watched What the Hell, once you've watched all these amazing documentaries about animal agriculture and you still turn a blind eye, that's unacceptable. Why would you want to inflict harm on another animal, another creature, when you don't have to? Everyone loves animals. Everyone loves sharks. And they're like, look at the pretty fish. And they travel the world to go scuba diving and look at these beautiful fish while at the same time wiping them out. There's a hypocrisy there that people aren't connecting together.
I may be wrong with this, but I think the fact that we have that feeling of compassion and empathy, I think that almost alone is, enough that we should not be eating animals. If a lion or something like hunts, I would imagine it probably doesn't feel too much empathy.
People get absolutely aggravated and disgusted by the Chinese Yulan festival, the festival where they eat dogs, cats, and lychees, three great tasting things. They're disgusted by that, and they think it's the most horrible thing, and yet they'll eat a pig, which has been proven to be smarter than a dog, and even some chimpanzees. Where is the disconnect? Why does this one animal have so much more value than another one? They all want to live. No one wants to live in a cage. No one wants to be exploited for your babies or inseminated for your milk. Why would you drink milk from a cow when you wouldn't drink milk from a dog? I see advertisements on TV all of the time about the double, triple Burger King bacon burger. And I just can't believe that people still eat that shit. I can't believe that that's not criminal.
It's crazy to pick an animal that does eat meat like a shark, and saying that humans should be eating meat, where all of our anatomy is just kind of pointing to an herbivorous creature.
And everyone goes for the canine teeth. I don't think my canines are going to rip any raw flesh off a newly dead animal. All the facts are already out there. People are basing it off what they've heard from other people, or they're basing it off the programming they've had from environments they've grown up with. But when you look at it from a science-based aspect, we have the body and the internal organs of basically a frugivore, so a fruit-based animal. But we can process vegetables as well, and we can process meat and things like that. That shit is going to clog up your body. You're going to get diseases from it. We're not designed to be eating meat non-stop. That's not who we are. And then you take into account the environmental damage you're doing. I'm not a scientist. I don't have all the answers. I watch really great people like James Aspey. He gets into a discussion with someone. I learn something new about what he's saying about the ideals, because sometimes people say things to me and I don't have the argumentative tips to come back at them. So watching people like James and some others, it teaches me more about why I need to do this. Even at my age, even in my lifestyle, you can still have people you look up to. There's nothing dumb about that. I look up to people like James and Damien Mander and the guys from Sea Shepherd and a lot of my friends, and they guide me through this. I'm so much healthier because I'm not trying to fill my plate up with meat, eating way more vegetables with way more nutrients. And I just took out the middleman. Everyone's like, where do you get your protein and your vitamins? I'm like, well, where do you get yours? And they say, well, I get my protein from meat. And I, well, where do they get it from?
Right, exactly.
Like, it's like a light bulb goes on. Like, I cut out the middleman and I get unadulterated amino acid profiles. You're getting it secondhand.
This is the only diet, the plant-based diet, to like reverse some of the top killers, like heart disease, diabetes, like all these things are being reversed through a plant-based diet, and there hasn't been really any evidence to show that a meat-based diet has done that before.
And there's always people on these carnivore diets that say, I've never felt better, my cholesterol's come down, and what, but I don't know if I can believe it. I want to see the studies. That's something that I want to look into now that I'm solidified in this lifestyle. And I'm looking at doing a documentary about this subject as well with a couple of my friends, because I'm not the person that's going to say, I'm right, you're wrong, because I don't have the science backing to say that. So what I want to do is create this program where we find out. Let's find out for sure. Let's take
awesome.
all the loudest proponents of each individual diet, be it paleo, keto, vegan keto, carnivore, and let's put it to the test. Let's find out.
And that's in the making right now?
This is the next project I'm doing. I'm so busy with other projects, but this is the next one once the current stuff's finished.
That's really cool, man. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
No one's done it. No one's said this is why it works. This is why this one doesn't work. You know, even What the Health was very one-sided. It was evident that people didn't want to talk about nutrition in that documentary for the Cancer Society and things like that. But no one's looked at it objectively from the center and said, let's test your carnivore diet. Let's test your blood. Let's get you working out. Let's see, if it's scientifically backed.
Can you talk a little bit about like your fitness routine?
I've always trained for my lifestyle. So when I was in the army, I had to have crazy endurance. I didn't have to be big and strong, which was great because I just could not maintain muscle, especially on the food they feed us in the field. But I could run forever. I could do push-ups forever. I could walk with a pack forever. Then I changed to the Navy and it was very similar. There was a little bit more swimming, a little bit more breath control type stuff, all around physical fitness involving strength as well, because there was a lot of really heavy stuff we had to lift and boats to pull through the ocean. I trained for that, go to work and we'd have PT in the morning. It'd be a lot of HIIT training. And then after work, I'd go and lift weights so I could keep some muscle mass. Now I don't need to have that crazy endurance. I keep an all-around level of fitness. Running for me now just isn't that much fun. I love running, but I don't get that same feeling where just running along and you get your wind and everything's sort of cool. Now it's like I've got to concentrate on every single step, pain from the blade socket, rubbing my skin off. It just doesn't have that feeling for me anymore, but I love going into the gym. I get my headphones on. I train down at Gold's at Venice as well, which is incredibly motivating and inspiring. I'll work on my one-legged box jumps and develop the strength and the speed and the endurance of my one leg that I have so that when I encounter things in life, I'm already ready for it. I can still do bulk loads of push-ups, lots of chin-ups. I love calisthenic type stuff, body weight, but I also like the heavy weight so I can keep some muscle mass.
How about your prosthetics? Do you have like specific ones for certain type of workouts?
So this is one of my diving legs.
Oh, nice. Is that carbon fiber?
Yeah, on the outside it's all carbon fiber. It's not bad. So this one there's a button on the side I can press and point the toes. So that way I can put a diving fin on it and kick my leg.
Oh, nice.
The one that I've got that I'm wearing right now is probably one of the best prosthetic legs in the world for walking. It's waterproof, but only for swimming, not for diving, which is why I've got to change legs. Then I've got two for weightlifting, one for pulling exercises, one for pushing. I've got my robotic arm, which is incredible. A running blade. I've got a leg for like snowboarding. My luggage can get really heavy. So I've got to choose which activity I'm going to participate in the most.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool that like companies are now making this technology. That's really awesome.
day where everything is encompassed into one prosthetic.
Oh, right.
Technology is going so good now. This stuff didn't exist 10, 15 years ago. Thank God for smart people.
It's a good time to live, for sure.
Your diet, your nutrition, and the way you train, what are going to give you the body that you want. It might sound dumb, but I'm kind of a product. Now that I'm on Shark Week, now I'm on TV, now I'm doing things like that, you have to have a good outward appearance. I can't get on TV and talk about being plant-based and being healthy and not look healthy and fit. I train for that lifestyle. I like to show people that it is totally achievable. Even if you're starting from the ground up, like I had to, even if you have injuries or disabilities, it doesn't matter. You can find a way to do it.
So I hope you guys found this video useful and inspiring to listen to Paul's dietary choices as well as his fitness routine. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. Also, don't forget to check out Paul's shark attack story if you haven't yet. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.